All right. Welcome everyone to the Potomac and Chesapeake Association for College Admission Counseling College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each will have 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but we'll be around for the entire session to answer questions. My name is Chelsea and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type questions to our presenters at any time. This is one of many sessions happening, so be sure to check that schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/PCACAC. And now I'm going to turn it over to our first presenter, and that is Radford University.
All right, well, good evening, everybody, and thanks for coming by tonight. Just gonna go ahead and share my screen here and then get to my presentation. All right, so my name is Ryan Davila. I'm one of our assistant directors in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions at Radford University. Just gonna tell you guys a little bit about our school, what we have to offer, and some of the really great opportunities we have for our students in and out of the classroom. So to start with, Radford University has around 3,600 undergraduate students coming from 36 states, 53 countries, and 2 US territories. So our student body, although smaller, is super diverse. Our average class size is around 17 students per class, which puts us at an 11-to-1 student-teacher ratio. 1 in 4 Radford students is a first-generation college student. And then if you look down kind of at our location here, we're kind of smack dab in the middle of New Jersey, so about 35 miles from Philadelphia and just under 50 miles from New York City. So you're kind of centrally located to where a lot of the jobs are once you do end up graduating. At Radford, we have around 70 undergraduate majors in our 4 schools of business, education, arts, and liberal arts and sciences. Some of our most popular programs are in our School of Business, so majors like accounting, business analytics, information systems, among others that you can see listed here. Also, teacher education is quite popular for us. So we have an elementary education major and a secondary education major. In both cases, you would be a double major. You'd major in whichever level you're doing, and then also in your subject. But we also have a lot of really great up-and-coming majors. We've just expanded a lot of our STEM programs. So computer science, biology, cybersecurity is very popular right now among a large list of other programs listed under our liberal arts and sciences school. We also offer some 5th-year graduate options. So to kind of accelerate getting your master's degree and doing it in 5 years instead of doing it in 6 overall. So these options and those options continue to grow as well. In terms of the type of student that we attract at Radford, so last year, our average incoming student GPA was at around a 3.4 for incoming students. The average SAT score was around 1120, and our average ACT was around a 22. We are a test optional institution. These are just kind of the averages for students applying that do decide to come in with their test scores. But if you don't feel your scores are super strong, that's no problem. You can apply test optional. Radford University is on the Common App. So when you apply for colleges in the fall, you can find us on the Common App along with probably many of the other schools here tonight, and submit all of your materials there as well as your general application. So we also try to be extremely cost effective for being a private institution. So we offer multiple scholarships and grants for incoming freshman students. About 99% of incoming freshmen receive some form of Radford funded scholarships and financial aid. And the average student gets around about $19,000 per student for their assistance package. We have over 900 Radford alum that are in leadership positions within companies all over the world. So it's really great that we're able to not only offer a value education, but also get our students into a place where they're going to be able to have successful careers as well. And I was kind of talking about application stuff before. So these dates are pretty much the same every single year. So important dates for when it comes time to apply in the fall. Our early action deadline, which is non-binding, is November 15th. That's also our trustee scholarship deadline, as well as our BFA and BA musical theater application deadline. January 15th is our preferred freshman deadline for scholarship consideration, as well as honors consideration. Applying early gets you benefits at Rider. So along with getting your decision sooner, we also offer perks for our students that apply early. So just keep a lookout for that as well. Some of those perks include things like getting free parking your freshman year, things like that. And then our FAFSA deadline is February 1st, and our final enrollment deadline every year, so kind of that official decision time, is May 1st. That's kind of across the board for most colleges and universities. Also on the right side here, you can see some of our ways to stay kind of connected with Rider. We have really great Instagram and TikTok accounts. Our admissions office is always available. If you're going to come by this summer, we're usually open Monday to Thursday. And same thing with financial aid. They can make individual appointments, or walk-ins are also accepted as well if you are in the area. So it's totally up to you how you want to get access to us on our campus. But we do offer a lot of options for visiting. So we have regular campus tours that run pretty much year round. We also offer a really great experience called a Bronc for a Day, where you kind of get to live the day in the life of a student and do all the things, take a class, meet with a faculty member, eat lunch on campus, and also get a personal tour from one of our tour guides. And then we also have open houses. So we have one in September, one in October, and 2 in November coming up this fall. So if you are able to make it, that'd be great. And we do add a bonus for students applying that do visit campus. So if you visit campus 3 times, we actually give you a textbook credit for $1,000 that will be eligible for your freshman year if you do decide to enroll at the university. But that is pretty much it for me tonight. That is my name and information. I'll post a link to register for kind of a spot in tonight, and just feel free to contact me anytime. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, next up we have Kane University.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having us. And here we go. Right. All right, so we are Kane University, pronounced Kane, not Kean. If you pronounce it Kean, that is a real school. It is a private school in New Hampshire. If you pronounce it Kane University, that is us. We're in New Jersey. Union, New Jersey is our crown jewel. That's our main campus, where I would say 95% of our undergraduate attend. We also have 2 other campuses in Ocean County, New Jersey, and 1 to the north of Skylands, New Jersey, as well as an international campus in Wenzhou Kane University in China. So for all of you majors that are interested in studying abroad or out of state, absolutely Kane University is the school for you. Kane University is about a 185-acre campus in Union, New Jersey. We are a 13-minute Uber ride or car ride to Newark Liberty International Airport, and a 13-hour flight to our Wenzhou Kane University campus, where our architectural studies majors, our global business majors all thrive. Our campuses, all 4 of them, are absolutely stunning. Your tuition and fees absolutely are reinvested into the campus and the buildings to provide you a quality and state-of-the-art education. We are a public state school. So what does that mean? That means we can afford to provide an affordable education at a quality. So you do not have to go in debt in order to attain a higher education degree. Kane University prides itself on 32% of our graduates graduating in the least amount of debt. So affordability, accessibility, those are our main 2 pillars to access higher education. That's our beautiful campus right there. Now let's get into some quick facts. So quick facts about Kane University. We are a public state university. We are considered an urban campus, even though some would say we have the best of both worlds by looking at this picture right here. As far as an urban campus, we have 3 campuses in New Jersey, 1 in China, international. Our main campus is located in Union, New Jersey. If you are applying out of state, which I'm assuming everyone here is an out of state student, meaning not living in New Jersey, Mariana Lutic is my name. I will be your undergraduate admissions counselor. Your application will come to me and my reader queue. So if you have any questions, definitely feel free to ask. My email, and I'll flip it back to the first slide, is readily available at mlutic@kane.edu. We have 2 train stations physically on our campus, 30-minute train ride away from New York City, which is great for internships as well as entertainment. Students are always up and abroad and going to the city and coming back to campus. So there's always something to do. Freshman students are allowed to park their vehicles on campus with an e-pass. So if you are a commuter or live nearby but still out of state, absolutely you can park your car on campus. We are considered a mid-sized school at about an 11,000 undergraduate students. So not too big, not too small, but we do have a small class size, 7-to-1 student-teacher ratio. So you do get that one-on-one attention from your instructors, from your professors in the classroom. Our top majors of study at Kane University, education is huge. We were founded as a teachers college. We pride ourselves that every school in the state of New Jersey has at least one Kane University Cougar alumni. So we're very proud of that. Psychology, undergrad, grad and doctoral programs, criminal justice. We have an excellent criminal justice program. We have a police department on campus, and we are known throughout the community having criminal justice fairs, college and career fairs. So if you're interested in attaining a job, absolutely, we will provide you to that next step after you finish your 4-year degree in criminal justice. Business administration and management, biological sciences, speech language communication, which students actually get to meet clients on campus, supervised with the licensed professional, physical education, teaching, coaching, and athletic training. How much do we cost, since affordability is one of our key pillars? Our in-state tuition is $12,595. Our out-of-state tuition is $19,771 per year. That is if you are commuting or you're being dropped off on campus or if you live nearby. If you are interested in housing for out-of-state students, that's a big key. That's an additional $14,000. We have 7 residence halls on campus, all beautiful, state-of-the-art, suite style living. So when you enter your room, keyless entry, sort of like a hotel resort. You go into the common area. You have a stand-up shower with a bathroom, state-of-the-art inside the facility, along with the full-size refrigerator and kitchen, all there in the lobby kitchenette dining area. Then you have 2 bedrooms within the suite. Each have 2 beds, 2 dressers, and 2 desks for you to do your work. If you want a little bit of separation in your residence hall between work-life balance, you don't necessarily want to do all your homework and schoolwork in your dorm, we have computer labs on each floor on either end of each residence hall. So you can hop over to the computer lounge and do your work or have study groups. It's very accessible and very computer friendly. And also students who live there can use it as well, of course. Our meal plan is required for students who live on campus. It is not required for students who commute. That's an additional $2,000 on top of the tuition. And we also have an out-of-state residency scholarship that if you are living on campus, you check off this box on your application, and it will provide you an extra $16,000 for all 4 years cumulative, which is a big chunk of change off of our tuition. You must meet certain criteria academically. We are test optional, so the 3.0 GPA, 85%. GPA unweighted is required, but the SAT and ACT scores are not. So you do not need to provide us with an 1150 SAT score or 23 composite score ACT. We are completely test optional. Scholarship eligibility minimum is a 3.0 GPA, which is an 85%, which across the board, even if you want to go to graduate school, 3.0 is the universal standard. And then depending on your major, it may get more competitive than that, such as if you're interested in pre-med or pre-law, it might get a little more competitive. For our how do we apply to Kane University? So we are test optional, very simple, very accessible, and easy to apply. October 1st, our application opens right on the FAFSA application date. So mom and dad, parent or guardian goes on the computer online and completes the financial aid portion of your application, while you as the student take ownership of the actual application to go and get into your schools. So you would go online at apply.kane.edu, use our application fee code waiver. You do not have to pay the $75 application fee at Go to Kane 23 because you're interested in hopefully attending our school that fall 2023 semester, and transcripts. That's all we would need. If you are applying to a specialized program, such as architectural studies, graphic design, interior design, or anything like that, you would need one additional step, which is a portfolio, and that you would submit via photos, USB drive on kane.slideroom.com. If you are a great test taker and that's where you truly shine, we will not stop you from exhibiting your finest. With SAT or ACT scores, same thing. Submit the online Kane application or Common App, either one. Our application fee code works for both. Go to Kane 23. Second, submit all high school transcripts. And third, submit your SAT and ACT scores. You are done. Typical wait time for you to receive a decision is 2 to 3 weeks. And we pride ourselves on getting you a decision as quickly as possible because you need to have all the information so you can make an educated and informed decision on where you want to invest and spend your next 4 years. So Kane University, application, transcript, and you're good to go. And don't forget to use that non-refundable $75 application fee code waiver. Go to Kane 23 and you are all set. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, next up, we have University of Mary Washington.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for having me tonight. Really excited to be here. My name is Adam Moore. I'm Assistant Director of Admissions at UMW. I cover pretty much the whole DMV and a few other areas as well for the university from a reading perspective, from an application side of things. But where is Mary Wash? That's a good place to start, right? So we're in Fredericksburg, Virginia, about an hour south of DC, hour north of Richmond. I'll talk about internship opportunities and what our outcomes for students are down the line, but we're in a really awesome spot in the Commonwealth of Virginia for students to get those internships, those long-term outcomes for success. So we have about 4,100 undergraduate students on campus who have a handful of master's programs as well, but predominantly an undergraduate campus and predominantly a residential institution as well. So most students are living on campus. You see, while we are a public liberal arts and sciences institution for the Commonwealth, we're a state school, that doesn't mean we only have students coming from Virginia on campus. So 34 states represented, 38 foreign countries as well. I'm our international coordinator as well, which is really exciting. Always love working with that population. So really diverse student body on our campus, super welcoming environment for all types of students. Kind of a makeup of what kind of classes look like. Average is about 19 for us. Small classes, you're going to know your professors. They're going to know you. Tons of growth opportunities in the classroom to really connect with your professors, connect with other classmates as well. Hop in the labs really early on in the process. So you see the dollars devoted to undergraduate research on a yearly basis. And then you see that student to faculty ratio even smaller than our average class size. So you're going to know your professors, they're going to know you. And like I said, from an area perspective, while it behooves you to come to Mary Wash, those small classes afford you the opportunities to dive into the labs if that's the type of thing you wanted to do really early on in the process. So if you get your feet wet and you're ready after that first semester, we have tons of students that are doing independent research. We are having students that stay over the summer and work with professors and get published in academic journals early on in their academic careers, which is super exciting. So if those are things that interest you, not even just the sciences, right, the humanities as well, really exciting opportunities for our students to thrive early on in their academic experience at Mary Washington. You know, a rigorous curriculum as well, but supportive environment to make sure you're challenging yourself, but feel supported at the same time. From a majors perspective, I mentioned the sciences, humanities, kind of everything in between, right? Tons of fantastic offerings within our three colleges: College of Arts and Sciences, College of Business, and College of Education. So based on that, you can probably tell education and business are really large programs at the University of Mary Washington, but those aren't the only popular opportunities at the university. So if you're interested in, you know, historic side of things, we're nationally renowned. We're the first and premier program for historic preservation. So if you'd like to work in a museum and study history, we have tons of students that, you know, Washington's right down the road with the Smithsonian's. We have tons of students that do internships or work there across the country, doing some really cool things with our historic preservation opportunities. I mentioned I'm our international coordinator. If you wanted to work in international affairs or the political science scene, we're obviously a really good place for that as well, based off of our location close to DC, quick train ride. So awesome opportunities in a number of different areas from a majors perspective and also a minors perspective as well. So we have tons of students that will pick up at least one minor during their time at Mary Washington. Just how our curriculum's broken up: 3 pieces of the pie. A third of the classes will be those general education requirements. A third will be devoted to your major, and a third, it's kind of up to you. That's where the malleability of a Mary Washington degree comes in. Some students, if they play their cards right, can double major or pick up one of these awesome minors. So mention majors, minors. Also, those pre-professional programs are always awesome opportunities to highlight as well. So interested in med school long-term, we have an awesome connecting program with George Washington School of Medicine for their early selection process. And as you can see, a number of other opportunities as well. So get that really core knowledge at a smaller institution like us, and then move on to some fantastic schools across the country for next step programs. So a large swath of our students will continue their education after their time at Mary Washington. And it's not just the sciences, right? We have students that will go on, for instance, interested in theater and go on to Yale for their master's program. And now they're working on Broadway, which is really cool. So really awesome opportunities to connect with professors, get those research, independent studies, whatever it looks like for you to be successful long-term. So now, obviously, the academic part is such a big part of why you choose a school, but you're there to have fun too, right? You want to have an enjoyable experience, not just in the classroom, but out. There's so much experiences and opportunities for learning outside the classroom too. So 150 plus clubs and activities. We're a Division III school in the Coast to Coast Conference for athletics, 22 varsity programs, awesome opportunities in a number of different athletic programs, but clubs, everything from the traditional a cappella group, student government, all the way to a botany club and an Eagle bagpipe band on campus. So tons of really cool opportunities on campus or off. You see tons of programs for study abroad as well. A lot of students will study abroad during their experience at Mary Washington. So I love highlighting this slide in particular. That's President Pano. That's our president in the top right there. So really, really cool guy. Just shows you we have some fun at Mary Washington during the learning process as well. So a couple quick deadlines here for you too. We have an ED, EA, and regular decision deadline. You can see some of our quick profiles from a grade SAT. We are test optional, so something to think about. And then quick, some alums. So we have some students that are doing some really cool things after their time at Mary Washington, and they really thank their professors and the experience they had with us for them to have reached their success. So appreciate you listening to me tonight, and I hope you have a great rest of your evening.
Awesome, thank you. Next up, we have Radford University.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. Give me 1 second so I can share my screen with you. Okay, I believe you all can see my screen now. Welcome everyone. My name is Guadalupe Sanchez. I serve as the Assistant Director of Multicultural Recruitment for Radford University. And today I'm just going to give you some general information about the institution and to highlight some of the really cool things that are happening at Radford. So the first thing is just a little bit about our geographic location. Radford University is located down in Southwest Virginia. We love being surrounded by the mountains because that gives students plenty of opportunities to enjoy the great outdoors. There's tons of options for students to go hiking in the nearby trails that we have. Our students also enjoy the new river that flows right next to the university, which is really cool when our students get to enjoy tubing down the river during the summertime. So lots of great things in our geographic location down in Southwest Virginia. But another really cool thing about our institution is that we are mid-sized. So that means that we're not too big, but also not too small. I do like to say that we're kind of that perfect mid-size for a lot of students. It's a great opportunity for you to have all of the great experiences of a large institution, but also be able to take in all of the great things that a smaller school can offer students as well. And overall, we have just under 11,000 students enrolled at our campus. So once again, we are that mid-sized institution where you're never going to feel like a number at the institution. You will always feel like someone's out there vouching for you and looking out for your well-being. And currently, a third of our students are first-generation students, and about 30% of our students come from ethnically diverse backgrounds, which is really great because we do support our students in wherever step they are in the process. So for example, there's resources that we have through the Center for Diversity and Inclusion, and resources for students that are first generation to be successful inside and outside of the classroom as well. So some of the things that we want students to be involved in, of course, are the academics. So for Radford University, our community really trickles down to the classroom experience. So in the classroom, we want you to be successful. So currently, our class size is about 20 students per class, and this begins your freshman year at Radford University. So none of your classes are ever going to be big at Radford. Most of your classes will be fairly small, which is really great because that does allow for you to have those, smaller, intimate classroom experiences with your faculty, as well as your your peers, which is also really important for you to learn, not just from us as staff and faculty, but from your peers as well. And the really cool thing about the academic programs that we offer is that there are a large amount of options for you. And the cool thing about that is that you don't just have to stick to one specific program. We do have the option for you to do a major minor or a double major. So lots of flexibility when it comes to you creating a program that's going to be beneficial to you after you graduate from Radford University. So you're always going to have a multidisciplinary approach to your education. So let me show you what some of those programs look like for us here at Radford. So on the screen now, you can see some of the academic programs that we offer at the university, but regardless of which program it is that you decide to do, we highly encourage our students to do some form of experiential learning. So whether that's an internship opportunity, maybe it's a research opportunity with a faculty, or maybe you're just wanting to have some other form of hands-on experience, we have the resources in place to help you be successful in whatever it is that you want to do outside of the classroom. Basically, we want to make sure that that knowledge that you're gaining in the classroom, you can apply it into a hands-on learning environment as well. And you can do that with any of the programs that you see within the screen there. So regardless of whether it's a liberal arts program or a science program, you will have a renowned experience both inside and outside of the classroom for the university. And besides academics, we also want you to be enjoying your student life experience at Radford. We have lots of different opportunities for students to have a vibrant student life, whether that's join a club or organization on campus, or whether it's diving into Division I sports. We have 16 athletic departments that you can be a part of, or club sports or intramural sports if you're not really interested in competitive sports. So there's always going to be something that you can do at Radford University, which is really great because we want you to have a fulfilling college experience, not just academically, but socially and all around. So there's lots of things for you guys to be engaged in outside of the classroom as well. And when it comes to living on campus, we do require that students live on campus the first 2 years. That is your first and second year. And then after that, you do have the option to move off campus if that is something that you decide to do. And when it comes to financial aid, we do take a lot of pride in being one of the most affordable state schools in Virginia, which is really great. We do offer very competitive financial aid packages for our students. We have both merit-based scholarship options as well as financial aid based on your FAFSA application. We do ask that students submit a FAFSA application pretty early on. October 1st is that date that the FAFSA application opens up every year. So we just want to make sure that the closer that you can submit your FAFSA to that date, the better, just so that we can give you a very competitive financial aid award package. So just definitely keep that in mind. The sooner that you submit that FAFSA, the better financial aid options you will have from the university as well. And then last but not least, some information about the application process. So there's two ways that you can apply to Radford. You can submit your application through our website or through the Common App. The application itself is free. And besides the application, the only other document that you need is to submit your official high school transcript. Once you have those two documents submitted to our office, you will be complete and ready for review. Everything else that you see on the screen, test scores, your personal statement, letters of recommendation, those are all optional. So you don't have to worry about submitting those too much. Usually what I recommend is if you see that middle 50% on the screen there, so if your GPA falls below that, I would highly recommend that you submit all of those optional items to our office, because that's just going to give us a better idea of who you are as a student and the things that you enjoy doing as an individual and as a student inside and outside of the classroom. So definitely give us some insight into who you are, and we would love to see you at Radford University. If you'd like to contact us, the information to reach us is located on the screen at the very bottom. Thank you so much.
Awesome, thank you. All right, next up we have Old Dominion University.
All right, good evening, everyone. I will take a moment to go ahead and share my screen, and we will get started with our presentation. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Takarla Moore. I'm an Assistant Director of Admission here at Old Dominion University, located in Norfolk, Virginia. Old Dominion is a top national research institution. We recently gained R1 research designation and amongst one of your largest public state universities in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Located in Norfolk, we are in the coastal southeastern corner. So the backyard to ODU is the Elizabeth River watershed, and our neighbor to the east is the ever so famous Virginia Beach, Virginia oceanfront. So we're excited to be in all things sand and sun down here at Old Dominion. You'll notice that not only is ODU one of the most innovative places to learn, it's also one of the most diverse places in the Commonwealth and on the East Coast. We have students that come to us from all over, and we also have a variety of majors to satisfy any of those research-based or liberal arts-based needs. In terms of our population, you'll see that Old Dominion is home to about 24,000 monarchs and growing. Our monarchs are made up of about 18 to 20,000 undergraduates seeking just their bachelor's degrees, and another 4,000 to 5,000 that are seeking master's or PhDs on the graduate level. You'll notice we have 8 academic colleges. That does include our Perry Honors College and our School of Cybersecurity. And within those 8 colleges, there are 91 different majors. Students are welcome to come in and major and minor in a variety of subjects. And many of our students do come in looking for things in the STEM-H backgrounds. You'll notice the 35 on your screen. That is the number of State Council of Higher Education Outstanding Faculty Awards that Old Dominion holds. That is the second highest number of awards amongst any school in the Commonwealth of Virginia. You are taught by the PhD faculty, and you're live and active in their labs and research platforms, even as an undergraduate. You'll notice a 16:1, that is our student to faculty ratio. Great ratio for a school of our size. Those of you that are looking for the big public mid-sized university, but still wanting to have that small school feel, you'll get the best of both worlds attending ODU. And then lastly, I'll mention the physical size. 335 acres of land is what makes up our campus. It is completely coastal, flat land. And as you can see, that backdrop on your screen is the Elizabeth River watershed. Moving on to student life, you'll notice on the screen a couple numbers. I'll run those down for you. We do have over 300 plus student organizations. If you're thinking about anything from marching band, dance teams, Greek life, maybe you're thinking about being in a gaming club, or maybe you have a special interest in religion or culture, there's a little bit of something for everyone at ODU. You'll notice that fraternity and sorority chapter number there, over 30 plus. There are 15 housing options. We just added a 15th hall to our university not even a year ago. So there are plenty of options to be residential. And then of course, for the foodies on the call, over 17 dining locations. So whether you're into independent restaurants, chain restaurants, maybe you like coffee bars, snack shops, sandwiches, whatever it is that you like to eat, there is definitely one or many of them on our campus of any type of food. So we're excited to bring you such a variety of options there as well. In terms of our application process, you can see on the screen, we are part of the Common Application, and also we are on our own ODU specific app. It is a $50 non-refundable app fee to apply for admission. Remember, we are rolling admission, and we work on early action and regular decision preferred filing dates. December 1 is the early action of the, of course, senior year, December 1. Most of our applicants are notified by the late November to early January, late November through early January timeframe, should you choose to apply early. And then also you'll notice the February 1st, which is the latest date that you'll want to apply for optimal processing for that senior year. You do have until May 1st to make that decision. And of course, we will continue to accept applications until that freshman class is full. You'll notice as well the required items. Remember, Old Dominion is completely test optional. We do not require any SAT or ACT scores for review. However, if you choose to submit them, it is an option and we will review them accordingly. You'll notice the required item as well, the high school transcript. Anything additional is optional. So if you're thinking of essays, resumes, any sort of letters of rec, we encourage them, but it's not actually mandatory to be reviewed for admission. And of course, this information is detailed out in more specifics on our website. Talking a little bit about affordability, Old Dominion still remains one of your most affordable options in the Commonwealth of Virginia, actually within the top 3 most affordable in the Commonwealth. You'll notice all prices on your screen are per year. It is not per semester, it's per year. And this is before any financial aid, grants, scholarships, prepaid plans, benefits have been applied. So this is the most your family can apply or be aware of. And this does include a full load of classes, room and board, and meals if you're on campus. Off campus is just tuition and fees without that room and board and meal option. Remember, we do have a tuition cost estimator and calculator available on our website if you'd like to see your specific numbers, and our finance and financial aid staff are available Monday through Friday for live assistance. A little bit more on paying for college. Of course, the FAFSA opens October 1st of each year. If you are interested in using federal aid, we recommend applying by January 1st, specifically for ODU. You will be reviewed for merit scholarships upon admission. And also remember, submitting that activity resume can also give you more information on how to qualify for additional funding. So just a reminder to not forget that as well. And I'll end on our contact information. If you're interested in reaching out to ODU, feel free to follow us on our social media accounts, shoot an email, or of course, give a call. And again, I'm Takarla Moore. I'm also available on the website to assist. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much. All right, next up we have James Madison University.
Thank you. Just one moment to share my screen. Yes. So, awesome. Hopefully everyone can see that. I'm not sure if I have it right. My apologies.
Looks good over here.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So thanks everyone for being here this evening. We greatly appreciate it. My name is Devin and I'm with James Madison University. I serve as an admission or a assistant director in our Office of Admissions. I'm just excited to share with you a little bit about the university as well as a little bit about our admissions process. So JMU, we are located in Harrisonburg, Virginia. We're a public 4-year institution. Primarily kind of mid-sized with about 20,000 undergraduate students and about 2,000 grads. So we're kind of right in that middle sweet spot, I think, of feeling large, but feeling small in the moments that you want to feel small in. Despite that large number, our average class size is about 25 students, and only 11% of our undergraduate courses have 50 or more students in them. So we try to keep that class size small, get you that one-on-one attention with all of your professors. We have an 89% freshman retention rate at JMU, and I think that is a great testament of how well we try to serve our students in and out of the classroom. So we try to provide students with a great atmosphere, great support, great food, all of that good stuff. And I think that is one of the hallmarks of JMU is the support we have in our Student Success Center, which includes things like our tutoring centers, academic advising, libraries, the health center, counseling, etc. So we try to keep that rate high. JMU is the #1 most publicly recommended public university in the US, which is really exciting. So our alums are enjoying their experience and are highly satisfied in sharing that with everyone, which is really exciting. As a proud alum, I can certainly attest that I'm saying the same exact things. So I mentioned briefly we were in Harrisonburg, Virginia, which is just about 2 hours of Richmond, Virginia, and about 2 hours of DC. So we're conveniently located along 81. We are in the beautiful Shenandoah Valley, so lots of beautiful mountains nearby to our campus. But by no means is Harrisonburg considered a college town. The city of Harrisonburg is a culinary district. It has so many great places to eat, lots of good ways to get involved in our community. That's one of the things that I love about Harrisonburg is it is equally the city and equally JMU. We love to find great partnerships in and out of the classroom to do the best for our community, which I think is exciting. Between what's going on in Harrisonburg and what's going on campus, there's never a dull moment. We are a D1 school. We're recently transitioning to the Sun Belt Conference, which would be really exciting for our sports fans. But for students that definitely want to get involved in other ways, we have over 450 student clubs and organizations. So there's never a dull moment. There's always ways for you to be involved in and outside of the classroom, which is really exciting. So I want to talk a little bit about our admissions process. So not to throw too much information at everyone, but just to share kind of the basics. In our process, we try to keep it really simple. The only two things that we require are the application itself and your high school transcripts. Everything else is optional. SAT scores, personal statement, letters of recommendation, etc. All those things are optional. So essentially what we're looking for is going to be broken down into two main categories. First thing we're focusing on, of course, is going to be the grades that you have in your core classes. So we're primarily looking for A's and B's in your core classes. And then in addition to that, we're looking to see that you've challenged yourself with rigorous coursework. Now, rigorous coursework can vary from school to school, but for schools that offer your college level courses and your honors classes, your AP, IB, dual enrollment, those are things that we're going to be looking for when we review applicants. So those are important to have in the process along with your A's and B's. For students that you may go to a school that doesn't quite offer that many or offer those types of classes, that's okay. You can challenge yourself in other ways, whether that be taking a 4th or 5th year of a foreign language, having that 5th or 6th year of math, etc. Things like that. So there's always ways. We want to see that you challenge yourself because we know that you're going to be challenged once you get here. So that really boils it down. What we're looking for is those two main areas. All the optional pieces are great ways to kind of share more information or share context about who you are as a person, as well as your academic history. It's important to note that intended major is not a factor in our admissions decision. So it doesn't matter what you want to major in, that criteria is the same for every single major. We have 2 deadlines at JMU. We're an early action regular decision, non-binding. And it's important to note for us that we do not have a priority deadline. So scholarships, honors college, and admission, all of that is the same in either deadline. So there's truly no pressure. We want to keep it simple, easy, and up to you how you want to navigate this process. So I briefly mentioned about majors. One of the things that's great about JMU is we are considered a liberal arts college. So we've got a wide variety of majors that you can focus on. So we've got 164 academic programs in these 9 different colleges. So lots of things from our popular majors of education, business, health sciences, biology, communications. We've got a little bit of everything, which is exciting. Some students will choose to double major. Some majors are easier than others. That's certainly possible. And then we also have so many minors as well. So there's lots of ways to explore what you're interested in. If you're not sure what you want to study, that's totally fine. As you can see, we've got a whole lot of different options. Regardless of what you choose to study, we really are all about making sure that you get a hands-on experience in and outside of the classroom. So we are an R2 institution, so there's lots of opportunities for you to do research in and outside of the classroom as you come to JMU. So briefly talked a little bit about who we are, where we are, kind of a little bit about our process, but most importantly, I want to point out some resources for you all. Please find your admissions counselor on our website. We're happy to chat with you. And then of course, you can scan the QR code and get on our mailing list. We'd love to hear from you, love to see you. Thanks so much and go Dukes.
Awesome, thank you. All right, at this point, I'd like to welcome everyone back onto the screen so we can hear from you all one more time. Awesome. All right, so my question for all of you is, what advice do you have for students who are going through the search process either now or sometime in the near future? And we'll jump back up to Radford University to start.
Yeah, so I think as you begin your college search, I think it's a really good thing to keep in mind the exact kind of campus you want. I think it's good to figure out if you want bigger atmosphere or something more intimate, because that's going to be your home 9 months out of the year for the next 4 years. Even if you are commuting, that's still where you're going to spend most of your time. So that's kind of the biggest thing I always tell people.
Thank you. Kane University?
I would definitely recommend visit. Get a feel for the campus, see what you are investing in, what you are purchasing, where your money is going. Talk to the students. What is their experience like? If they're telling you, I'm having a horrible experience here, I'm having a rough time here, that may not be the school you want to invest your time and money in. If students are giving you primarily good feedback, I love the campus, I love the school, I love my instructors, I love the students that I attend classes with, then that might be the school that you want to invest your time and money in. Do your research, do your homework, do not apply to these schools blindly. We are all businesses. It's the business of higher education. We are here for you, yes. but also there's money behind it. Do what's best for you, do your homework, make sure it's the right fit.
Thank you. University of Mary Washington.
Yeah, kind of going off of that point a little bit, do your research, do your homework. I always tell students to keep a spreadsheet, right? You got a lot of information tonight, and it sometimes blends together if you're looking at all in-state schools or all schools that are fairly similar. So I always say keep a spreadsheet with pertinent information that's super important to you through the process. That way you can go back to it with your family to check it out to see what the best fit for you is. So keep a spreadsheet, keep all the information in one place, and going off of that, have a college email devoted to this, because we all are going to flood your inbox. So it's good to have an email devoted to the college search process.
Absolutely. Thank you. Radford University.
I would say to choose a school that's going to be the right fit for you. And what I mean by that is don't choose a school that your parents want you to go to, or your best friend wants you to go to, or anybody else. This is your decision. These are the next 4 years of your life. So choose a school that's going to be the best fit for you and no one else, because this is going to be your experience, and it's going to be a fun one, and it's going to be something that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. So you want to make it a good one. So choose wisely and choose something that's going to be beneficial to you above all.
Thank you. Old Dominion University.
I would offer start early. I'm always to say to be early is to be on time. So start early. It's never too early to start thinking about your options, researching, just keeping an open mind about some of those different offerings, and then also own the process. It's your process, take the lead, take charge of it, and just really keep an open mind and begin early.
Awesome. Thank you. James Madison University.
Yeah, I think what everyone said is awesome, and I think this is a tricky process, and everyone has different answers, and research is needed. But I think most importantly, don't be afraid to reach out and ask questions. We are here for a reason, and just because some school told you one thing and we told you something different, like check with the people. I think a lot of times students are a little too shy or apprehensive to reach out, and we love hearing from you. So all else fails, and at any point in time, whether it's now, whether it's a week before the deadline, the day of the deadline, any point in time, we're here as a resource. So please utilize us.
Awesome. Thank you. That's all really great advice. Alrighty. So at this point, I'm going to wrap things up. We are at that time. So thank you everyone for participating and for presenting. This is really great. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick survey. We really appreciate any feedback you can provide. Any of the recordings, whether you want to watch it again or you want to watch something you weren't able to see, everything will be available at strivescan.com/PCACAC. And that's it. So have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone.